Under Armour's founder, Kevin Plank, stepped down as CEO in October 2019. But this wasn't a planned succession. It was an escape. The question isn't why he left. It's what he did that made leaving the only option. The story you've heard is about a brand that lost its cool, a one-trick pony that couldn't compete with Nike. But the real collapse traces back to a single catastrophic decision made in 2015. A decision that had nothing to do with clothes. To understand the scale of the mistake, you have to remember what Under Armour was. In 2014, its stock soared over 60%. Its operating margin was north of 30%. It was the hottest brand in sports. The engine was simple. Make technically superior athletic wear, sell it at a premium. Plank started it all with $3,000 from a college rose business. By 2015, revenue had hit almost $4 billion. They were a powerhouse, but Plank saw a threat. To win, you don't just sell products, you own the customer's entire routine. And in 2013, he started buying that routine. His first target was an app called MapMyFitness. He spent $150 million on it. It was the first move in a plan that would cost nearly $1 billion. By 2015, he went all in, acquiring MyFitnessPal and Endomondo for another $560 million combined. Here's the part nobody talks about. Plank wasn't just spending money. He was spending political capital. Long-term employees questioned the strategy. He spent hours in one-on-one meetings trying to convince them. He was betting his reputation. The prize was massive. 150 million users. The world's largest digital health community. On paper, it looked visionary. Connect the gear to the gym and you create an unbreakable ecosystem. But here's the second-order effect. To justify $1 billion bet, you need to show the core business is bulletproof. You need to keep growing the core no matter what. And that's where the accounting started to bend. In 2015 and 2016, Under Armour aggressively pulled forward sales. They pushed product into the channel to hit numbers, making the quarter look fantastic while borrowing demand from the future. It was a classic, desperate move. This was happening while they were spending nearly $500 million on MyFitnessPal. The company was funding one massive bet by fudging the numbers on its other bet. That's not a strategy. It's a double down on desperation. So, what did the billion-dollar app fortress actually buy them? Let's be blunt. Nothing that helped the core brand. It was a massive distraction. And while the team was distracted, a crisis was brewing on the field. In 2016, Under Armour won the biggest uniform deal in MLB history. A 10-year contract to outfit Major League Baseball starting in 2020. It was the ultimate validation. They were competing with Nike on the biggest stage. But then, the costs hit. By 2018, the company was in trouble. The first annual loss in its public history. $48 million in the red on nearly $5 billion in revenue. The growth story was officially over. To survive, they had to cut. And in May 2018, they made a symbolic amputation. They walked away from the MLB deal. The contract they'd won just 2 years earlier. They handed it, and the prestige, directly to Nike. They saved about $50 million a year, but the message was devastating. Under Armour couldn't afford to be a major player. The brand wasn't just losing cool points, it was losing credibility with athletes and investors. Meanwhile, remember that billion-dollar app community? It never integrated. You didn't need Under Armour gear to use MyFitnessPal. It was a walled garden with no walls. The users stayed for the tracking, not the brand. The stock chart tells the whole story. From a high near $90, it was now trading below $20. That's a destruction of shareholder value in the billions. Plank's vision had become the company's anchor. Here's the part nobody sees. It wasn't just the apps, it was the ego. The Fifth Avenue flagship, leased for $20 million a year, sitting half empty. The reported $250 million bid for Kevin Durant, lost to Nike. Every move screamed overconfidence. But the real unraveling came in 2020. Not from COVID, though that helped, from the SEC. In July, the agency issued Wells notices to Plank and the CFO for the pull-forward accounting from 5 years earlier. The foundation was cracked. Then, in early 2023, depositions from a shareholder lawsuit revealed a stunning detail. Plank had given a journalist a private phone, a private email, and sent her confidential financial data to fight negative stories. The journalist, Stephanie Rulli, admitted she took free trips on his private plane, saying she was flying as myself. In the deposition, Plank called her a confidant. The line between corporate spin and reality had completely dissolved. When the second quarter of 2020 hit, revenue plummeted 41%. The pandemic crushed retail, but by then the damage was self-inflicted. The stock was a fraction of its peak. The founder was a legal liability. So, the mystery is solved. Under Armour wasn't killed by Nike, or by changing tastes, or even by a pandemic. It was destroyed by a founder who confused buying technology with building a moat. The billion-dollar app bet didn't protect the brand. It distracted from it. It forced the accounting games to hide the slowing core. It led to panic moves like abandoning the MLB deal. The investment that was supposed to secure the future mortgaged it. The lesson is brutal and simple. You can't distract your way out of a core problem. If the product isn't the priority, no amount of data, no community size, and no clever accounting can save you. Your foundation will always betray you.